this afternoon?
I mean, I think what has just transpired is tremendously disturbing. It is the latest evolution and instance of political violence in the United States, and it must end.
Congresswoman, what message do you have to your fellow lawmakers regarding the political environment? What message do you have to your fellow lawmakers regarding the political environment and the rhetoric that has been put out in the media?
You know, beyond rhetoric, we need to talk about action, and we need to talk about, yes, there are words, but most importantly, we are in a job of leadership. We are in a job of action. We are in a role and a position where the American people are looking to us to do something about this. And every single day, people are dying due to gun violence in America.
People, I'm gonna probably do a few videos because I want these to be tutorials. If you notice in the first video, I did go and just talk about the colors. I'm sticking with what I know. I'm sticking with with my gut. Everything that you see ain't true. So that would be my second clue in relation to what happened today. This Charlie Kirk situation. It's gonna upset some people, but I'm gonna just put out subtle hints. Look what color she got on. I said look and see what color she got on. But not only that, watch how they started off. Watch this. Do you see it? I said, do you see it? What are the odds? There's your blue.
This afternoon.
I mean, I think
It's right there. And they fade out. And then you got your purple. Now here's a little nugget for you. I didn't want to put this into the first video. It was too complex to do. But here's your treat. The last time that Trump saw Charlie Kirk was October 24th, 2024, at the turning point. October 24th, 2024. Today he was unalive, they say. 9/10/2025. Ain't that skull and bones? And what is 46? Joe Biden's son, Beau Biden, he died at 46. George Orwell, George Floyd, and JFK, they died at 46. And what's this 10:18? Like Luke 10:18, Satan being hurled out of heaven? That's one aspect. But remember, I warned you. 10:18. I warned you. The modern day Robert Kennedy. People, it's not over with. The rumblings might have begun. I've been saying for months, it's going to be a lot unalived. I guess before the big one. You know what happened to Robert Kennedy? Just hold tight, I got something to show you. 10/18/2025, his next birthday. 9/10, this man was unalive today. The difference is 111. I know you, I get it. The Pope died on the 111th day of the year. Pope Francis died on April 21st, the 111th day of the year. The sole survivor 2.5, maybe 3 months ago of that plane crash in India. He was sitting in seat 11A. 11A. A is the first letter of the alphabet. So that's 111. When I showed you the Texas video, there was a mailbox that said 111. 111 is speaking, people. What are the odds? Then you got this, Poseidon. Poseidon is about the water. I brought it up in the last video. What am I getting at? Why am I going to this here? Remember I showed you. There was a guy in the stands. He had this image on his hat. Remember that guy? Remember the hat? See if I still got it. There's the hat, Poseidon. And there's those colors. The Tiffany blue and the purple. Right? See it? Or close to it. Like I said, it won't always be the same. People, something was planned here. Something was planned. And I want you to get it. It's not accident. But this might not be it. Watch this connection. Because I just told you about the water. Check it out. All right, let's wait. All right, here we go.
To smash through the side window display case on East Kirk. They then reach in and grab a couple watches before they run off. Some watches seen left.
There was a heist the other day in Chicago about 4 or 5 days ago at a jeweler. Rolex. Watch this.
Dangling from the window.
I don't think Rolex thought could be broken. They find out the hard way.
To the side window display case on East Kirk. They then reach in and grab a couple watches before they run off. Some watches seen left dangling from the window.
I don't think Rolex thought could be broken. They find out the hard way. If you've got enough leverage on a hatchet, you could break through.
Alderman Brian Hopkins says he was call a smash and grab like this in the middle of the afternoon when the streets are filled with tourists and shoppers. Chicago police say 4 men in masks broke the glass.
This was a successful robbery. They have recounted they are missing watches. This was successful.
The robbers fled in a red Nissan Murano and sent police on a chase down the Dan Ryan. They then crashed the SUV into a parked car near 69th and Peoria in the Englewood neighborhood. Police scanner traffic says the men were seen throwing a...
Englewood, if I'm not mistaken, is in the top 3 shootings and murders in Chicago.
Now look at the license plate. You definitely see the 48 and the 45. On April 8th of last year, there was an eclipse over the earth. It showed an X. 45 is Trump. Red and blue, when you mix it together, is purple. That's Phoenician. So what are the odds? But here's the thing, they had a crash. Now follow me. And they had listen to what type of car they had. Watch this.
Recounted they are missing watches. This was successful.
The robbers fled in a red Nissan Murano and sent police...
A red Nissan Murano. Okay, now watch this. This happened a few days ago in Chicago on 9/4. Over 90 cars discovered by a dive team in Chicago River. The story is the boats couldn't get past one part of the river because there was a car that was too high. So that made the diving team go into the river and they found 97 cars. The 97th day of the year is April 7th, Trump. I believe all this stuff is tied together. Now watch this, watch this. I believe they made this story up because if you got a dive team that's always going looking for cars, why'd you let 97 pile up? You see what I'm trying to say? Watch this.
Go looking for one car but found 97. Now that dive team is checking license plates and VIN numbers to find out if their haul could lead to any answers. This mangled Nissan is just one of you.
Nissan. People, I'm telling you, it's too many coincidences. What are they telling us? The robbers were driving a Nissan. Come on, man.
Nearly 100 cars the chaos divers discovered in the Chicago River.
It's not uncommon for us to find vehicles.
They got on red and black, right? Right?
Heck, that's what we do.
When they started their search at the Richard J. Daley boat launch near 31st and Western last week, they didn't find just one or two vehicles, but they kept combing the water, ultimately logging dozens.
A lot of these are in piles. We have 3 piles that are ranging anywhere from 12 to 19 cars. And
I might come back. She got on red and black. You see all this here? Red and black is sacrifice. And again, one car was too high because it was stacked on others. And this is what you do? She's the manager there. You gonna tell me they don't go down there regularly looking for cars? Come on, man. It's a joke. Now watch this here. Nissan Murano, right? Murano. Now, would you believe that New York has all these bridges? And I put in last night when I was setting this up, what's the most famous bridge in New York? The first one that came up was Brooklyn Bridge. Then you got Hell Gate. But you also got what? Robert F. Kennedy Bridge. And I screamed. And I'm going to scream again. Because I just showed you Poseidon. I just showed you Poseidon. Because when they did the footage, they had this going on. Is that coincidence? Poseidon. What I'm strongly suggesting to you is that this event will possibly lead to another event. Poseidon is telling you about an incident coming in the water in the future. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Listen. Which brings me back to what? This here and this here. Come on, Pearson. What you got for us? What you got for us? I'm telling you, man. Look. All these bridges. Robert F. Kennedy Bridge, Hell Gate, and Brooklyn Bridge. Now let's go down there. Construction of the Robert F. Kennedy Bridge, originally the Triborough Bridge, was completed in 1936, with the bridge opening to the public July 11, 7/11. Construction had started in 1929, but was halted due to the Great Depression, and later resumed in 1930s. Now watch this. Yes, the Robert F. Kennedy Bridge, also known as the RFK Bridge or Triborough Bridge, is located in New York City and connects the boroughs of Manhattan, Queens, and the Bronx. It is actually a complex of 3 bridges that cross the East River, specifically the Hell Gate. Come on, man. Now, last, the Robert F. Kennedy Bridge was previously named the Triborough Bridge and was renamed on the date that the New York City Council voted to rename it July 24. So they named the bridge after Robert Kennedy. After Robert Kennedy. Boom. And Zorro is from New York. Zohran is from New York. Okay? Now, I want you to check this out. July 24th, 2008. Take July 4th, 2024, the anniversary of that bridge being named the JFK Bridge. On 6/24, that's when Zohran won the primary for mayor in New York. The difference is 111. Isn't that something? The 111 comes back. Just like here. 10/18, Zohran's birthday. Today, 9/10, assassination. 111. Are they speaking about Poseidon? Are these numbers 10/18 for him? That's what I'm asking. Is there something else coming? Now look at this. December 3rd, 1818. Illinois is the 21st state. Guess what? Charlie Kirk, October 14, 1993. He was born in Chicago, Arlington Heights. Chicago. So let's look at it again. December 3rd, Illinois. That's the last birthday, 2024. Today's date, 9/10 assassination. Difference is 9/11, people. 9/11. What else I got? People, let me say this to you guys. Like I said from the beginning, don't you believe everything that you hear and what you see. Somebody just sent me a TikTok video, and it shows the actual event. It shows the actual event of him being unalive. Okay? It shows the bullet entering his chest, his heart, and the blood coming out of him. People, it look like Niagara Falls. I'm gonna say it again. They got TikTok videos out there. I don't think it's AI. The weapon was used, it went in his heart, and the blood comes through here, and it squirts out like Niagara Falls. People, some might call it unprofessional to doubt what you see. Some might call it unethical, insensitive. I know the goal of Satan. I know what he want to do. And I know he got a timetable. And they throwing so many zigzags in this thing. But I'm going to tell you one thing I do know. Sacrifices have to be made for the Antichrist. They're going to talk about gun control. They're going to talk about mental health. They're going to throw everything in the mix. Everything. The toilet, the sink, everything. Go on TikTok. Type it in. Watch the video yourself. The thing looked fake. It looked fake. It looked fake. If you have seen the video where he is struck in the heart and the blood comes all up out of here, out of his face, it looked like Niagara Falls. It looked fake. What's going on? Just like I caught this. There's your blue.
This afternoon.
And there's your purple. I'll probably do another video. I'm done for now. Don't forget, the 5 C's, they do work. 322, 46, and let's not forget who was the 46th president. I said, let's not forget who's the 46th president. I told you guys, it's gonna be a number of people that are gonna come up unalive. And you got some serious numbers here. I'm out.